I asked for 6 life sentences, but 4 was what the judge came with. This was one where a child's life has been altered forever. This was one where life sentences was necessary for justice purpose. 4 will do. 1 was a mandatory minimum sentence, but like I said, we asked for 6 lives for each charge that could carry the possibility of life in jail. The appeals process, they have to prove certain burdens. It's my position that the appeal won't go forward, but if it is, the Attorney General's office actually takes over on the appeals for the Court of Appeals, but it's something we track and follow to make sure that our offenders stay where they are. Our office hasn't been overturned. I don't think we will anytime soon because we made sure this case was tried justly and fairly, but this is one where we're going to make sure that Mr. Utero spends his 4 life sentences in jail. When I originally ran for Commonwealth's attorney, one of my biggest platforms is making sure I was a victim, or I was a voice for victims who couldn't speak for themselves. And this was a case that we really wanted to make sure victims knew we do take these cases seriously. We will take them forward. And this was a case where we wouldn't relent on our desire to seek life in jail. We didn't offer pleas. We had this straight up where we were seeking life in jail because this case warranted life in jail. And we want to make sure that other victims know prosecutor's office do take these cases extremely serious, and we want to make sure offenders are held accountable. A lot of offenders that we will see will pick victims who are easy to victimize, that think they're nobodies. The victim holds some, in the victim's eyes, the offender will hold some sacred position where no one will believe them. This case was really important. When the victim came out, other people had started seeing the symptoms of the abuse. There was an incident that then changed everything, made the report with law enforcement to make sure that we held the offender accountable. And so that's something that we want to make sure all victims know. This was a delayed report case. We took it serious and we took it to its max effect. We had the family in here, we had the victim impact, and we made sure the victim and the victim's family was fully engaged and fully informed and made sure that their voices were heard as part of that, which is why I read out the victim impact statement of just how the victim is trying to overcome. And it will take many, many years. But that's the first step is making sure that the offender here was held accountable. And the 4 life sentences does just that. I'm always appreciative of the Sheriff's Department for their help in this case. For my victim witness advocate, Beth Phelps, she is my North Star. She always guides me on my cases. She makes sure that the victims are always updated what's going on. My office, when we handle these cases, it's a team effort, working with DSS, the Sheriff's Department, the victim witness advocate. This is something that I can't do on my own. So I'm just so appreciative of all my other partners that we've worked with in law enforcement and in social services to make sure that Ray Utero here is going to serve his 4 life sentences. Contact whoever you can in the law enforcement community, because again, these cases, everyone does take them serious, even if it's a delayed report. This isn't our only delayed report. We had another one, Bloomberg, where it was a 10-year delayed report, and we held that offender accountable, and he's spending his life in jail. So this is something the law enforcement, I know the Commonwealth attorneys in the surrounding jurisdictions, we take this extremely serious. I know the law enforcement community everywhere in the 50 states of the United States and our territories takes this serious. Report it, and with the law enforcement, they will do what they can to make sure the offenders are held accountable.